good morning everybody. How are you all doing? Lovely to see you all. Welcome to Thursday. Thank you for tuning in again. It's our second Tinker Like It's Thursday session of the Dr. Chip's Daily Dose. This morning we're going to be doing some science and some tinkering, some making. We're going to make our own magnifying glass. But I've got lots to get through before we get to that. I want to start in a second by jumping straight onto the Showcase blog because I was absolutely inundated with pictures of your runny rainbows from yesterday and they look fantastic, so I want to jump on there. Some really colourful ones. I also, towards the end of today, want to just talk to you briefly about how your bread experiments are going and show you mine. I don't want to give away the results just yet, but we're going to have a look at them. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what's coming up next week because we've got some really interesting stuff coming up next week. And we've got a new quizmaster on Dr. Chip's Daily Dose. We have a riddle setter, Baffle Your Brain Bertie, I'm calling her. And she set some riddles, so I'm going to leave you with a riddle today to try and ponder on and work out for tomorrow. So, lots coming up, but before all of that, I must talk to you about my spaghetti tree from yesterday. Yesterday I showed you what I'm particularly proud of, that my spaghetti tree has managed to bloom. And I said it had bloomed in time for my show yesterday on the 1st of April, which was a big clue as to what the special fact is about this tree. The other big clue was the fact that I said its Latin name was Eperilus fullus, because it was actually an April Fool's. Yes, this is just a regular bonsai tree with cooked spaghetti hung over it. Of course, this is not where spaghetti comes from. Spaghetti is made out of flour and eggs. So well done to all of you, and there were lots of you that emailed me in saying, what a load of rubbish, we've got you. That was an April Fool. But maybe there were a few of you out there as well that didn't realise, in which case I got you. That was my April Fool for yesterday. So I better clear that up, and I hope that my bonsai is going to be okay. Yes, I think it is. I will clear that up afterwards. So there we go. If you tried doing any research on spaghetti trees, you probably didn't find much. And if you did find anything, that's other people doing April Fools themselves. Right, let's jump on to the Showcase blog to start this morning. Onto here. Let's have a look on here. Showcase blog. Right. Let's rattle through the runny rainbows that I got sent yesterday because they are absolutely fantastic. We've got Phoebe here. Lovely pattern, Phoebe. I love the blue on that one. We've got Jessica and Adam who tuned in. Love the thumbs up there, Adam. You even got your rainbow top on there, look. For your runny rainbows experiment. Joad and Amina giving the thumbs up with theirs. In the process, the colour moving into the middle there. We've got Charlie, Harry and Lily all there watching the how to do the experiment. Wow, look at the colours on this one there. That's really impressive. Love that. We've got Jack Thorley, Mum's experiment and Jack's experiment. So they both did one separately and we're exploring the differences there. And oh, I like the fact that Mum, have you laid it out as a heart there? Love that. Looks like you've got quite a few brown ones there, or maybe that's just after the colours come off. Now, I did leave how to pronounce the names on here because I didn't want to get it wrong. So we've got Orla, we've got Ava, and we've got, is it Kyra? I hope so. And they're all peering in at their experiment. They were tuning in for the first time yesterday. They are all friends with some other regulars of ours, which I think are... No, they're not coming up next. But thank you for tuning in. I hope you liked today's experiment as well. We've got Abdullah and Mustafa with their experiment there. And they were very quick to email me in and say that the spaghetti tree is a load of rubbish. And they were correct. Well done, boys. We got Georgia, Murray from Newcastle, And you also said that you suddenly realised afterwards that your top matched your experiment. Brilliant. It does indeed. Rainbow top for a runny rainbow experiment. We've got Austin and Penelope Lucas from Bromborough. Excellent effort. Look how bright that one is there. That's super. And look at the way, I love the way that the colour makes a distinct border with the other colours. I think that must be, why does that happen? Why does it create... why doesn't it mix at the edges there? There's loads of lovely science to think about in this. I'm going to have to give some more thought to that myself because I always do this experiment and there's still a lot to it that I need to understand. We've got Lily and Sophie. Love the colours here. The blues and the pinks and with some of the yellows. We've got Stella and Florence's runny rainbows as well. They've all the colours have mixed in there and slowly moved towards the middle. The Welsh family sent me lots of pictures saying there've been lots of experimenting going on, and I meant to put up your rainbows where you actually did where the water creeps up the paper. I've forgotten the name for it now that I'm saying it out loud and it's live. It will come back to me if I move on. But they did a kind of an extension part of the experiment where they made the rainbow move up wet paper. We've got Nima and Joseph. Excellent effort from you both. From Demorest Primary School in York. We've got Zaina from Birmingham. Oh, it's Zaina who was previously Queen of the Towers with Nanny Pat. Excellent effort from you. Lisa and Harry Moss, love this bit of improvising going on here. They realised they didn't have a white dish. In fact, I forgot to tell you it really should be white. So they've done it in what looks like a transparent baking tray with white paper underneath, which works perfectly. Well done to them. We've got Lucas Jones in Stoke-on-Trent who was testing out warm water and cold water to see what the difference was. We've got Sakib who actually set them out as his initials. Look at the lovely way the colours make meet one another and create these nice sharp lines. We've got Hassan who's sending us in and all the bright colours on there match your outfit a little bit there. Is that a Sonic the Hedgehog top hat? It might be, I think. We've got Jess and Harry, who are the friends of the other friends that I mentioned before. Wow, look at theirs. Fantastic. Well done to you two. We've got Bertie, our new resident, I was going to say quizmaster, but I mean riddle setter. Let's go for that. Who did some fantastic experimentation with hers and then decided to go skittle bobbing afterwards and eat them. What a great idea, Bertie. Often in school, when you say, oh, can we eat them at the end? The teachers say, no, no, no. But at home, you can do that. Jack Griffin, excellent effort to you. Love the colours on that one, the way all the colours are seeping into the middle. And Hatim and Hanya, interesting. I wonder if they started theirs at the same time, because you can see that yours has, all the colours have moved right to the middle. Yours hasn't. Maybe they were testing... Oh, I love that. Look, partners in crime. They were testing maybe the temperature of the water, and maybe one of them's gone quicker than the other. I'm not too sure. You'll have to let me know. We've got Flo, who's definitely testing the temperature of the water with cold water and hot water. And look at that. Look at that. That's just beautiful, isn't it? I love the way... So that was cold water, and we've got this kind of swirling, haven't we? That's because the water molecules are often... Well, they are all moving unless you cool it right down and we move from a liquid to a solid as ice, and then things move less and less and less. But we won't go too much into that today. We've got Sophia from Wales. Beautiful pattern, Sophia. Thank you for sending that in. And then we've got Abby and Etta. Abby and Etta, who are based in Bristol. And Mum sent in some interesting observations they've made here. They talked about how the colours were avoiding each other. Etta, who insisted on doing her experiment in a little deep bowl, not a shallow one, fine. That's up to them. And I love your observation as well, Mum, that you noticed that you felt very sick after eating the remaining M&Ms. Brilliant. Love it. Okay, great observation, but I'm sure you enjoyed eating them anyway. We got Yasmin. Look at that beautiful runny rainbow. See how many I got sent yesterday. It's taken me all morning to get these on the vlogs, but it's absolutely brilliant. Madison Lofts, thumbs up there. I'll give you the thumbs up back. Denisa, fantastic as well. Interesting, the red looks like it's been really powerful on that one, hasn't it? And Demain, there's sort of a bit of a mixing going on there. Callum, excellent effort, Callum, with the blue background. And there we go. Look at all of those. Absolutely brilliant. So well done to everyone that took part yesterday and sent in pictures. I hope I haven't missed anyone. Apologies if I do. It is just that there are quite a lot of emails coming in each day, which is brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So please don't stop. Please do keep sending them in. Right, let's crack on with today's experiment. No, let's not. Let's quickly do the remaining names off the register because I don't want to miss anyone. Shout outs this morning to Callum, to Lily and Sophie. Good morning. Austin and Penelope Lucas, who I think I've mentioned on there. Jack, who I mentioned on there. In fact, everyone on here I think I've already said hello to. Joad and Amina, your tower is now up. Harley, your tower, 7.5 feet tall from a couple of days ago, is now up on the Showcase blog as well. And it was lovely chatting across email to Dave Thompson and his son George as well about how much he enjoys tuning in. So there we go. Now let's crack on with today's experiment. Okay, now what I like about today is we're going to do a little bit of science, and then we're going to think about how we can use the science that we've learned to make something, to build our magnifying glass. So the science is exploring something called refraction. Now, this is normally covered in year 6, but don't worry if you're not in year 6, it's simple to do. If you are a bit younger than year 6, you might have heard of something called reflection. And reflection is where when light hits a surface, it typically bounces off of that surface and it reflects from that surface. Okay? Refraction is about when light travels from one thing into and through another. So let me give you an example. If you have if you have some water and light travel in a glass, and light travels through the glass, through the water and out the other side, as it travels through, we say it is refracted. Okay? And interestingly, what happens is when light travels from one, we call them mediums. So water's a medium, air's a medium, glass is a medium. When it travels from one to the other, unless it hits it, what we call perpendicular, perfect 90 degrees, okay, it turns. I'm not going to say the word bends because we can't really bend light. Light always travels in straight lines. Okay, hopefully all my year 6s, when I said light was travelling in, I should have heard them all shouting back at me, straight lines, because light always does travel in straight lines. Apart from when it gets near to a black hole, but we won't go there today. But Google black holes because they're really interesting. So, what was I saying? Yes, refraction. When light travels from one medium to another, it changes direction. Okay? Now, that's enough of my explanation because the best way to understand this kind of thing is to do an experiment. So the first experiment we're going to do, and I want you to follow along with this one. I want you to do it with me. You need a glass. Simple glass. Oh, actually, on the glass, try and go for one that doesn't have a pattern on it. Okay, so you see that one there? It's just a plain glass. If you've got a pattern on it, that pattern itself will actually already be refracting the light, and we won't see it very well. So we got a glass. Okay, then you just need a piece of white paper. I've got a piece of white board just because it's easier for me to do here. It's a big experiment, but you just need a piece of white paper. You need a pen. Okay, and you need some water. I've got my jug of water here. Okay, and this is really straightforward. Now, I've set my visualizer camera up here in a bit of a strange way. It's bent over, so hopefully if I go to this, you should, there we go. So it's pointing right at the glass. Okay, now we're all going to get this set to go together. So what you need to do is you need to place, let me go to, there we go, yeah. So you need to place your glass down, okay, on your table. And then what you need to do is you need to put your piece of paper behind the glass and rest it against something. So I've got my vase here where we have some flowers in. I always like having flowers in the house. And I'm just going to position that. So you need to be able to look through your glass at the piece of paper behind it, okay? Just in the same way that I've got my visualizer, my camera set up here for you all to watch so you can look through, okay? Everyone got that? Just give it a minute or so, just get that set. You might want to lean your paper up against some books or whatever you have around, a picture frame or another glass, but just get it set like that, okay? And then what you need to do is on the piece of paper behind your glass, I want you to draw an arrow, okay? And it can be pointing left or it can be pointing right. It doesn't matter, it's up to you. So I am going to draw my arrow and I'm going to draw it there like so. So it's pointing to the left. Now let me just check you can see that. I'm going to make it a little bit, my arrow a little bit bigger here just because I'm doing it across the camera and I really want you to be able to see that. There you go. Okay, and we get it in the middle there. Excellent, super. Now, do you know, one of the reasons I love this experiment is because it's a little bit magical, okay? Now, what we're going to do, and don't start yet because I want you to make a prediction. I'm now going to pour, and you are going to pour, your water into the glass. Just enough, we don't need to make the whole, just enough so it covers the level of our arrow. And as we do it, we're going to peer through and we're going to watch what happens to the arrow. Okay, now my arrow is pointing from right to left. Okay, before we do this, just take a moment to make a prediction. What do you think is going to happen? What are you going to see? What might happen? What might change when we pour this water in? Talk to your brother, sister, adult, or talk out loud to yourself. It doesn't matter if you haven't got anyone there, but it's good to make a prediction because the research shows that if we make a prediction, even if we're wrong, we're more likely to remember the right answer afterwards if we've made a prediction. So make your prediction now. Okay, right, here we go. So I'll tell you what, let me do mine and then you do yours. Looking at the camera on here, the arrow is pointing from right to left. And as I pour the water in, which is going to be tricky to do because I've got to get it round the visualizer, you should see the most incredible thing happen. And that is that, whoa, I've done a bit too much water. The arrow points the opposite way. How cool is that? Isn't that amazing? It goes, let me just show you that one more time. I'll pour that out. It starts from pointing right to left. And then all I do is I pour some water in. And as the water covers the arrow, all of a sudden, it points the opposite way. How bizarre. Give it a go now. Have a go on yours. Okay? Pour the water in. And see if you can see it pointing the opposite way. I can hear all the gasps of amazement from around the country and beyond. By the way, we get lots of people. Hello to everyone watching in Spain. I can see on the YouTube stats, I'm getting lots of people tuning in from Spain. I think that might be because you go to a school in Murcia. Elemos, oh no, I've forgotten the name now, where my friends work, Mr. and Mrs. Robinson, but I think they're in the secondary school and they've told you all the primary school about it. Also getting a lot of people tuning in from Dubai as well, which is really cool. So I hope you're all well out there. Anyway, back to this. Isn't it cool? Isn't it amazing? Now let's go back to this camera to start with. Right. So really simple on this. All you need is a plastic bottle. I've been practicing this morning, testing it out, which is why my plastic bottle has got holes in it. So, by the way, with this bit, don't try and do this following along. Watch, and then you can watch the video back and see what I have to do to make it, okay? But all you do at the top here, you are going to use the curved top part of the bottle. And you simply draw a circle, okay, onto that top part, sort of like so. Let's go back and show you that under there. Can you see that? Okay. And then we need to cut that out. Now, please be careful when you're cutting plastic bottles out because they can leave some sharp edges. So perhaps get an adult or older brother or sister, if they are responsible, to help you with this. Take your time as well so that you don't get jagged edge. I'm doing this quite quickly just for the video, and I will probably end up with some sort of jagged edge to it, which can be a bit sharp. So you take your time, but there we go. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim this down a little bit just to make sure that it is nice and smooth, like so. Okay, right, there you have. Then you have a small circular piece of plastic, but importantly, the circular piece of plastic has what we call a convex curve to it, which means it curves outward. Concave curves inward, convex curves outward. And if we add, and it's as simple as this, if we add a little bit of water into our curved bit of plastic, and then we place that and use it as a magnifying glass over anything we want to look closely at, as the light travels through it, it will be refracted and it will actually act as a magnifying glass. So let me just try this out. Now, I've printed out something very, very small here. I'm not sure whether you're going to be able to see it at all at the moment, but the idea is that if I can get my magnifying glass on it, you might be able to actually see it. It just looks like a line on a piece of paper there. So I'm going to take my water. I'm going to pour a little bit of it in, just like so. Okay, so now we have this water with a curved underside. And if I place it over here and then, oh, how cool is that? Right, now I don't know if you can see this, but basically if you just hover it over and then pull it away from the page, it magnifies the writing. It's so cool. So I'm not sure if you can see, but it says, have fun creating this magnifying glass, and thanks for watching Dr. Chip's Daily Dose. Can you see that on there? I'm not sure if you can. You might have to make your own so you can... Oh yeah, you can see it. Look, you can see it increasing the size of the writing. Look at that. Okay, so there we go. Have a go at making your own magnifying glass. Let me know how you get on. You might want to put a handle on it as well, just to make it a bit steadier. So now, just before I finish, yeah, send me, sorry, should have said, send me the pictures of those in. As always, send them to drchipsdailydose@gmail.com, and I will get those onto the Showcase blog and share those tomorrow. It's really cool. It's so simple. And I love the fact that we've done a little bit of science, investigation, and then we're using that. We're making something out of that science. And that's what engineers do. So coming up then, tomorrow, finally, before I go, I want to show you that here are the 2 pieces of bread experiment that I started a week ago, yesterday, tomorrow even, a week ago tomorrow. One of them has a lot more mold on than the other, and people have been sending me pictures of theirs with the same thing. I'm not going to show you which one, whether it's clean hands or dirty hands, but I want you to get your bread ready for tomorrow, because we are going to be looking at our conclusions from this experiment. So please have those ready for tomorrow. Also, I am just going to let you know what looks like coming up next week. So I'm starting to plan next week. Remember, if you want to get early warning about what's coming up next week, get your parents to subscribe on the website. They will get an email tomorrow afternoon telling them everything that they need to get in. It's not a lot of stuff, but any equipment they need, resources for the experiments next week. We're going to be doing lava lamps next week. We're going to make our own lava lamp, which is a really cool experiment. We're going to be making our own dance routines, hand jive routines in Computational Thinking Tuesday to learn about decomposition. Hopefully we're going to be doing some digital making as well. So not just hands-on making here, but I've got a good friend and computing expert who's going to be doing a tutorial to create a quiz in Scratch, which is going to be really cool. We're also going to be doing another experiment, Wonder Wednesdays, I think this time with sugar cubes. And Find Out Fridays next week is all going to be about cyber security, okay? So learning about people that protect businesses from hacking, learning about how you can ensure that your passwords are really secure. I've got a lovely little program where you can test how long a computer would take to hack your password. So that's going to be really cool. Lots of good stuff coming up. So let me finish. Or rather, let Baffle Your Brain Bertie finish by leaving you with a riddle for tomorrow. Okay. Here is the riddle for tomorrow. Send me the answer if you can work it out. What two things can you never eat for breakfast? Okay, here we go. I'll say that again. What two things can you never eat for breakfast? Well, that's going to keep me wondering until tomorrow. Until tomorrow, take care, have a great day, give the experiments a go, send in the pictures, and I will see you tomorrow. Cheerio, bye.